I got no opening words for you guys today. Just tell me if the audio is fucked up. I'm gonna try to be as loud as I can. I brought my mic to my face this time. And we're gonna be blasting some music, which means this stream is not monetized. So if they throw an ad your way, it ain't because of me, it's because of YouTube. It's because YouTube is ripping me off. In 2 hours? No, that's bullshit. Tell me, guys, if you can hear me. In the meantime, I'll show you what I'm doing. Somebody give me a 1 in chat if you can hear me, just so I know that everything's fine. That should be working. I figured I'll just go live because I'm out here suffering so hard. I got me a pitcher of beer. And I'm suffering. I feel like somebody's beating me with a stick because of what I'm modeling. So I figured I might as well just go live, say some crazy shit, get myself banned. So we'll see what happens. Somebody crack a beer with me though. I don't want to be the only one drinking. It's still daytime. So look, we're modeling these little pliers right here. Can you hear the music, guys? You gotta hear some music playing in the background. We listen to Stone Rock today. If you don't know what Stone Rock is, it's rock which stoners listen to. I'm not a stoner, but I listen to stoner rock. So here's the name of the game today. I got these things right now. This is what I'm doing. I got these nail clippers right here. I know they kind of look like they're meant for cutting off fingers, but they're supposed to be nail clippers. So I have to cut these little things in the side of the handle. These little things right here. And it's just a lot of manual labor. This is like attempt number, I don't know what. Because I fucked it up a couple of times. I just wanted you guys to see what it looks like when you're suffering. When you're suffering with something, when you watch my videos, it probably looks easy, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy because I don't show you the 3 attempts that I made before that I fucked up. That's the difference. 3,000 mods. Yeah, nail clippers for a goblin. Guys, what's happening? Guys, tell me in the chat, where are you watching me from right now? I always want to know. I've yet to meet somebody from North Korea. Tell me which country you're watching me from. Tell me something that I want to hear. So this is what I'm doing. I take a couple of faces, and I'm not even following the reference too perfectly anymore because I figured my alignment is not exactly going to match here. But I inset, I cut a hole in here, and then I just do loop tools, relax. Loop tools, relax. And I slide this back and forth a little bit. If you're wondering why I'm doing goblin nail clippers, as somebody said in the chat, it's a little client project that I'm suffering with right now, so I'm trying to figure out a good way to make these little holes here. And let me show you something, guys. Let me just unhide with Alt H. This is how many this is how many versions of this thing I got going on here. This is how many different variations I have that I'm working on because I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. It's a pretty fucked up model. Znaš već kako ne bi znao. Mačak jebote, to je ime. To je prezime. Turkey, Mexico, India, Colombia, Bulgaria, Italy, Brazil, Prague. Yeah, I just been to Prague the other day. And I've been through Brno. I've been to Prague and I've been to Brno the other day. I drove from Zagreb through Budapest, through Bratislava, through Brno, and to Prague, and then I went back the same way. I think I might have caught one of those. I thought I wasn't gonna get busted because I realized that when you buy the e-vignette, the shit you put on your window so you can drive on the highway, when you buy one of those, when you buy a daily ticket, I thought for whatever reason, because I'm fucking stupid, that it's gonna last me 24 hours. No, Brno was better than Prague. Prague was depressing, although I've been there on Monday at midnight. I arrived, and then I only spent that night there. I went to like 3 bars. I was in the old town, so I probably missed out on the party, but anyway, I wasn't alone. I was with a female, so I wasn't bored. But Brno was lit, man. But anyway, I thought that that thing that you get for the highway would last for 24 hours. Kako nije vaš čovjek, jebate. Ovaj papci mislio sam, brate, iz Perzije, da sam iz Afganistana, jesam, kurac. I thought that thing would last for 24 hours, but it turns out when you buy it, it only lasts until midnight. So the next day, when I was already halfway from Prague to Brno on the highway, that's when I realized, holy shit, my thing expired. So now I'm just sitting here like this, hoping I don't get hit with something. But they told me unless they pull you over, you should be alright. Now, Czech Republic is the best country, one of the great 4 horsemen of Europe. The last countries which still stand in Europe are Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary. Those are the countries that don't import at an industrial scale savages from the third world. Those are the 4 countries that are left. So when you go there, it's nice and clean, it's nice and safe. People are super kind and friendly in the Czech Republic. And I used to say that Poland's the best country in Europe, and I still think it probably is, but Poland has an unfair advantage. Poland receives a ridiculous amount of money from the EU, as far as I know, which gave them an unfair advantage. Why? Because they're right on the border with the greatest evil ever bestowed upon mankind, the Russians. At least that's the European perspective. That's not my perspective. I want to go to Moscow. I think Russians are probably some of the most culturally sophisticated people on the planet, in my experience anyway, which is a beautiful thing. But Czech Republic still stands, and Czech Republic I don't believe has an unfair advantage in terms of getting a ridiculous amount of funding from the EU. But anyway, let's not get political just yet. Let me get through another picture of beer, then we're gonna get there. And then after I drink this beer, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I had an encounter with the Jews in Budapest. Okay, so my idea right now is I cut a few more of these holes, and then I'm gonna have to patch them up because I couldn't figure out a way to make them cleaner other than just fucking inset, relax, and then use my Alt S to manually adjust these edges until it looks reasonably flat and clean. So we're just gonna do it roughly, and then we're gonna do the fine tuning. What's up, guys? We got 56 people. I thought there would be like 20 people today because I didn't even announce the stream. I just came on here drinking fucking beer. I figured what better way to drink beer than on live stream. Guys, join our Discord. There's a link in the description. Join the Discord because you already know I'm going to get banned from YouTube. If you don't know why, ask chat. Why Aryan's definitely going to get banned from YouTube sooner or later. Okay, let's do something like this. Now let's make this corner soft. Guys, let me turn on my screencast keys. And if you got any questions, guys, just ask me. So I'm not really here to make this a tutorial stream or something like that. I just want to show you guys what I'm doing, chat with you guys, listen to some music, drink some fucking beer, you know, like we do at the bar. But if you guys want me to explain something, then let me know. I can digress a little bit. Be careful in Discord too. Yeah, my Discord is full of extremism, so to speak. And I didn't get banned yet, but whatever. I also got a LinkedIn account. And the Thomas Cullen upload today. I saw Thomas Cullen had the drone video the other day, but did he upload another one? Oh yeah, about the circle. You know, I can't believe that this channel has reached 127,000 subscribers. I can't believe this shit actually worked. One day, I decided to turn on the camera, and you guys know usually I'm shirtless when I'm sitting at my computer. Aren't you guys too? Who the fuck sits at home at their computer wearing a shirt except... Okay, I went to the shop. I bought some groceries. That's why I'm wearing a shirt, because I don't walk outside wearing a shirt. But otherwise, I was sitting here shirtless all day with a towel around my fucking waist. So one day I hit record. I filmed a tutorial. I just showed something that I was doing. Turned out it's fucking amazing. Turned out that, oh my god, Aryan, you're the god of Blender. I don't believe that shit, but... It's hard to believe that that shit turned into 127,000 subscribers. Hold on, let me change the song. Give me some Somali Yacht Club. They're a Ukrainian band. A Ukrainian band. Hold on. It's my favorite song. This is the most famous one, of course, but some of you are gonna know this band. Yeah, I use Blender on a laptop. Okay, I'll describe to you my rig right now. And the reason... So let me give you some context for my rig. I grew up sitting behind the computer, a PC. It's right here. The computer that I started doing Blender on is right here. I'm using it as... Yeah, Stone Jesus. I know that band too. I was tripping balls with their song called I'm the Mountain. So I know that band well. But the first computer that I started doing Blender on is right under my feet. I'm just using it as something to put my feet up right now. I wouldn't say I'm disrespecting that computer because at least I'm putting it to use. But that was my first computer, which I had since I was like 14 years old. And then I grew up. I went off to uni. On uni I was using, you guys remember, I was using the shitty laptop. It's around here somewhere, I don't know where it is, but a shitty laptop probably doesn't even have a fucking GPU. And then this shit got serious for me, so I figured, you know what, I'm not gonna be a fool. I'm not gonna use the money that I've earned to buy a car, or to do drugs, or to get a hooker. I'm not gonna spend that shit at the club. I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna reinvest into my electronic equipment. And you know what? Since I'm ready for nuclear war, I need something portable. So that when they want to draft my ass into Ukraine, or whatever the fuck happens, or if I decide tomorrow that I want to live in Cambodia for the rest of my life, I want to be able to take my rig there. So I figured I'll get a laptop. And right now I'm working on a laptop. It's plugged into a screen. I would show you guys, but I can't. I don't know how to turn off the thing which wipes off the background. I'm too drunk for that shit right now. Otherwise I would turn the camera around and I would show you what I'm dealing with. But I got my laptop plugged into one monitor now. I left my cable for my third monitor in the countryside, so I'm waiting to get that back. Then I'll have another monitor. I got my beautiful amplifier right next to me. And I got this microphone looking at my face with a Focusrite Scarlett Solo interface. And everybody complains that it's too quiet, but who gives a fuck? Turn up the volume. Now they're supposed to get a little bit smaller at this point. So we're gonna do this. Yeah, dude, listen, I went to the shop. I just wanted some beer with my brother because it's a rough day. I'm suffering with some topology. I figured get myself a 6-pack of beer. Then you know what, my brother pulls me to the side. Look, man, you know what they got over here in the shop? Check this out. This is what the fucking degenerates drink. But who gives a fuck? What am I gonna be afraid of somebody judging me? And he pulls me aside and he points out this 2-liter bottle of Juya. This is what the way the general population views this is what the homeless people drink, right? But it's cheaper for that reason, because people are embarrassed to put it on the fucking checkout, because it's for degenerates. If you buy this, you're an alcoholic, fucking gambling degenerate. That's what you are. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. I fear not the judgment of man, so I bought it. And now I'm over here with my mom's fucking pitcher that she uses for baking fucking cakes or whatever, and that's what I'm drinking my beer out of. So that's my rig for today. But you asked me about the laptop. I digress. Specs are, I don't even remember. I think it's a 4070 RTX, I believe. If Aryan is a huge fan of Aryan before, what do you mean by that? Like the Aryan race? The Aryan race is what the Nazis used to describe the blonde, white-skinned, blue-eyed people, right? They're fucking beautiful. They're fucking gorgeous, those kind of people. The women, at least. I'm not a homosexual. If you're talking about the Aryan race, certainly I'm a fan of that. My girlfriend is Aryan fucking race. I don't know if it's technically that. She's Russian. Blonde, blue eyes, white as fuck. Whiter than me. I look like I'm from the sand. But I'm not, guys. I'm telling you, I'm 100% white. I'm as white as they get. I'm a fucking cracker. Okay, so we got them all roughly down. I'll show you my reference again. I think they're supposed to be a little bit sharper at the points, so maybe I gotta work on them a little bit more. Maybe I'll take these edges from the tops like this, and maybe I'll scale them down individually. Which would mean I would have to... I don't know if I want to fuck with it too much, because it's not bad. And I don't know if it's that important here. And of course, guys, we are going to use subdivision surface here. But yeah, we got to fix the shape for this. Look. You guys hear my music, right? How do you get a job in the game dev sphere? Well, I never had a job, like a job in the game dev sphere, and like full-time employment or nothing like that. But I would imagine it's much the same as any other job. Which means, okay, if I wanted to get a job as a car mechanic, and I'm not really, I don't know much about being a car mechanic, although it is something that I'm definitely interested in. I like fixing shit, but I don't have any real skills. I know how to do an oil change. I know how to do a fucking steering fluid change. I know how to swap out a tire, maybe some brake pads. Volume up. That's what I was waiting for. Okay. I turned it up by 2 decibels. So if I wanted to get a job as a car mechanic, what I would do is I would Google, okay. I would ask ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, hold on. let me cut the bullshit. I'll give you a straight answer. So the question was, hey Aryan, how do you get a job in the game development sphere? Or slots, I don't know what you mean by slots. How do you get a job in the game development sphere as a 3D artist? Breaking into game development as a 3D artist can feel daunting, but shut the fuck up. 3D modeling. Okay, build core skills, that's step 1. 3D modeling, texturing, sculpting, optimization. I don't think you need all of those, but okay. You need some 3D modeling skills, you need some texturing skills, probably want to do at least a little bit of sculpting. Engines, you want to get familiar with Unreal and Unity. Cool. So far, so good. Create a killer portfolio. Now, notice how he didn't say create a portfolio. He said create a killer portfolio. Okay? So, not some bullshit. Look at the top dogs in the game. Ask him, what are the top dogs in the game development industry on Instagram? Check out their portfolios. That's what he means. That's what you want to be like. Otherwise, you have no fucking chance. The same way that I don't have a chance in powerlifting. If I want to be a professional powerlifter, I don't have a chance unless I'm elite level. I can't show up to competitive powerlifting with a 220 kilo deadlift. That's unacceptable. You gain experience so you can work for free, for example. Do some indie projects, shit like that. Network in the industry and apply for jobs. There you go, those are your steps. Everybody knows this. Now guys, excuse me, I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'm back. Oh, Thomas calling in the house. Thomas, I got a pitcher of beer, and it's the cooking thing for measuring flour. And I got a 2-liter bottle of beer. And I'm racing my brother who's gonna drink it first, but I think I'm ahead of him. And I'm modeling this shit. Yeah, it's some sort of scissors. It's for cutting off fingers. Now, do I want to make them a little bit more pointy? Hold on, let me show you guys some pictures. I'll pull up Pure Ref here so we can talk about it. Print screen. Guys, is there anybody here who listens to rock music of any sort? Because nowadays people just listen to hip hop, and it's not hip hop like it was back in the day. It's degenerate fucking garbage. It seems like the more retarded, the more terrible the music is, the more mind-blowing it is to the youth. I don't understand it, but I guess I'm getting old. Yeah, okay, what kind of rock music? Tell me, what do you listen to? So this is what we now have to carve into this. I've made the little cuts, but I want to kind of improve the shape. Metalcore. So Thomas Collin listens to fucking metal. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know that. And Thomas, I knew you. How long we know each other, Thomas? At least like 3 years or something. I can't believe we never talked about music, Thomas. because for me it's such a big part of my life. It's always been a big part of my life. You know what, fuck it, we're gonna leave this as it is. Do I suggest doing freelancing as a side job? Fuck yeah. Of course. Just make sure, listen, guys, whatever you do in life. So, okay, if you're gonna do freelancing, meaning you want to make some money, now you're competing. It's kind of like, okay, if I'm training boxing, I train boxing just for fun, just casually. Just because I enjoy it and I like to be able to fight, I like fighting. I train it just for fun. If I wanted to compete, or if I wanted to do it professionally, I would have to take it a lot more seriously. So think of Blender or 3D modeling or whatever the fuck. If you want to do it professionally, you gotta get serious. You gotta get really serious. Hold on, let me just observe this for a second. Because I think it's supposed to be something like this. There's like a cut running straight through the thing. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, make sure that you're competitive. Make sure that you take this shit seriously. Make sure you're good. Make sure that you're real good. You gotta bust your ass. It's gonna be probably harder than you expected right now if you don't do it, if you never did it yet, or if you're not in that sphere yet. It's a little bit fucked up. See, the thing is that the subdivision surface modifier, sometimes it reveals problems, other times it makes them go away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna see if the subdivision modifier can conceal some of the shit that we got going on here. Let's see what happens. And of course we have to, we're gonna bevel these later, but I don't want to bevel them yet. Right now, as a placeholder, I'll just maybe use some creases. That looks a little bit busted. See, look at that, it looks a little bit busted. Can we see Aryan reacting to her 3D? Yeah, maybe later, guys. If you keep me entertained long enough that I'll stay here for a couple more hours until I finish it. Then after I finish, we can talk about some portfolios or works or whatever. So make sure you join the Discord. Something's not right here. Look, we gotta inflate these better. Look. The name of the song is Proton Lander. Hope you guys can hear it because it's the bass mic. It's setting the vibe right now. Guys, tell me somebody's drinking with me. Somebody crack a fucking beer. Are you in your Discord is weird. I'm a weird guy, man. You know what's the best part? We're all fucking weird. Name one person who you think is normal. Who you think is nothing weird about them. They don't exist. Everybody's fucked up in some way. Everybody's got some weird shit. Aryan, he's got a prison-style Blender Discord where he abuses his members. At least I'm not a fucking chomo. I bet some of you are. I bet there's somebody in this chat who likes kids. Fucking weirdo. That's weird. Me having a prison Discord ain't weird. Guys, that's why you gotta hit the gym. Guys, who has kids here? You got kids? If you got kids, you have to learn how to fight. You have to become physically intimidating. You have to get some weapons on you. Because you have no fucking idea how many creeps there are out there. They're everywhere. They hide themselves pretty well, but you gotta be ready. You could just go to fucking Telegram. I'll invite you guys to a group if you want. It's called Pancake Appreciation Group or something like that. There's so much violence in that Telegram group. Every day you see something that makes you think twice. You know what? Maybe I should get in shape. Maybe I should learn to fight and shoot, because there's some crazy shit going on around this world. Maybe I gotta be ready, because you never know when it's gonna get you. It might get you tonight. You never know. But I digress. A crackhead. I know crackhead. No, there's no I think in my entire life, in the part of the world where I'm from, I've never heard about priests abusing children. Not in the parts where I'm from. I know in America that probably happens, because America's a pretty fucked up place. There's a bunch of weirdos out there. Give me my statistics here. 5. Why is that line pink? Because it's a crease. So check this out. This here, for example. It's pink because my mean crease is cranked up. If it's not, then the subdivision surface modify makes it round. If I add a crease, look at that. It makes it pink and it makes it sharp. Hold on. Oh, look, we fucked that up pretty good. Better. What the fuck did we do? Okay, good enough. So we got people from all over the world. I just spoke to this guy at the gym yesterday and a couple of days before that. No, I'm not from fucking India. They look like I'm Indian. Why do people think I'm from India? Somebody explain that shit to me. Do I sound like I'm Indian? Do I look like I'm Indian? I gotta be honest with you, I got a pretty bad impression of India. You can call me a bigot, but at least I'm not lying to you. Hold on, we fucked up. How many we got here? 7, okay. Control. That means here we got 5. I want 5, motherfucker. What do we fuck up? Ah, okay. I get it. You model like an Indian. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Oh, I get it. Aryan is an Indian household's name. Household's name. Petition for Aryan to shred some riffs. Oh, Ishak, my friend, how are you doing? Yeah, look. I got my fucking... Fuck it, it's not in focus. Guys, go to Ishak's channel. If you want to do sculpting, as we mentioned before, it's one of the things you got to learn if you want to get into the gaming industry. Go check out Ishak. He's writing in the chat with you. And hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we fucked up. Is this not the middle? It ain't the middle. We fucked it up. We have how many edges on this side? 9. 11 on this side. So this is gonna be the middle. No, 7's not gonna cut it. If I want to have, I can do a bevel and then I can do 7 segments. Bro, what the fuck? 7 edges here. 5 up here. You know what, man? Fuck you. Okay, and now we have 6 edges up here. Why do we have 6 edges up here? Because it's 5 vertices, which means 5 loop cuts. Okay, that's right. There we go. Russians doesn't drink ožujsko takve, normalno ne piju. Russian people drink like savages. They drink like animals. You don't get a break. What? That program on your second monitor? What are you talking about? I got my little pure ref right here, if that's what you're talking about. References. Nisam Slovak. No, I'm not Slovakian. But Slovakians are some beautiful people too. So we got, I think it'll be this one here, like this. It's 10 edges here and 10 edges here. Good. I think I want to have 7 loop cuts because then I get 8 edges here, 8 edges here. Watch this. This one too. There we go. Games are for kids. Why does everybody get so upset when I say that? The video games are for children. Video games are for children. Games are for children. Games are for kids. Kids play games. Yeah, sure, adults play games sometimes, but in general, games are... Adults play games when they want to feel like children. Let's see if I can formulate a serious argument out of that claim right now. See, the problem is that when you play... If I want to play some game, if I want to feel like a child, I want to play a game. What I do is I play a game which is going to somehow contribute to the life that I have to uphold as an adult. As an adult, you got responsibilities. So for example, if I want to play a game, the game I'm going to play is going to be boxing. It's going to be fucking cycling. It's going to be a sport. Because that's going to contribute to my health, to my well-being, to my energy, to my physical aesthetics, which are all going to contribute towards a better adult life so that I can provide a better life for my children. The last thing I want to do is sit on my fucking computer and shoot people on my computer. I shoot people in my dreams. I got nightmares every night. I'm gonna shoot nobody. Every night I have. The other day I had a dream that I stabbed this guy with my brother's knife. Let me show you my brother's knife. I had a dream that this guy in Tibet captured us alive. They wanted to burn us alive. It was kind of like in the same vibe as 7 Years in Tibet, but they captured us and they wanted to burn us alive for whatever reason. And I got a hold of my brother's Swiss knife. I can't find it right now. It's around here somewhere. And this guy who was trying to burn us, I took this fucking knife and I caught him off guard and I stabbed him. Again and again. I stabbed him at least like 35 times. This was in my dream, guys. This wasn't real life. And it wasn't nice. It wasn't a great experience, but I did what I had to do, right? So when you dream about these kind of things, I don't have no desire for more violence in a video game. I got my dose of violence. And action and everything. I don't got time to watch fucking movies. I want to see somebody get shot, I'll just go to sleep. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. At least I admit it. At least I'm open to the idea that I'm mentally ill. Bringing the girlfriend. Exactly. So if I want to play a game, that's exactly Thomas call it. I've never heard bigger. I haven't heard nothing as true as what you just said this whole fucking week. If I want to play games, you get a female. So imagine, guys. Okay. When you're bored, you had a long day, you're tired. What's better? What's more fun? Turning on a fucking video game, clicking over here, staring at pixels all night, or is it better to take a beautiful girl out on a date, spend some time with her, take her back home, fuck the shit out of her, chat with her, whatever, have a couple of drinks with her? What's better? What's more relaxing? What's more of a morale boost? Because the point of relaxation is to get your morale back up, right? Yeah, I'm just fucking crazy. Who knows? You gotta be somehow related to the Tate brothers. Everybody tells me this. What is it, guys? What is it about me? I don't have 8 bitches around me. I don't have no supercars around me. What is it about me? What did I do? I'm a Christian. I'm not even a Muslim. Watching titties is better than watching movies. That's right, Thomas Collin. Thomas Collin telling it like it is. Guys, is there anybody in the chat who's gay? I want to ask you a question. Tell me if somebody's gay. I promise I'm not a bully. I just want to have a conversation with. I want to ask you some questions. If there's anybody who's a homosexual or bisexual or whatever the fuck, come on, come out. Be honest. If anybody's gonna bully you or harass you, I'm gonna ban them. Because I'm a Christian. I don't believe in harassing people. I just want to ask you some questions because I'm curious about some things. Okay, so Andrew Tate is a fake Muslim? Why? Why is he a fake Muslim? Let's play PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. You know, when I was a teenager, I blew at least 900 hours on that video game. It's a great game. It's a great game and it's a lot of fun. But I don't want to play that shit. I want to go out. I want to play with some titties instead. I don't got time for fucking PUBG anymore. I'm a grown man now. If I play PUBG with you, I'm gonna sit here all night and play PUBG with you. I know it's fun, but I don't got time for that shit. No gays here, just straights. Yeah, gay people don't like me. Gay people don't like my personality. Because they can just tell something about this motherfucker screams white supremacist, homophobe. You can just tell by the way he walks. They just know. Guys, by the way, I see. Okay, so every time you turn on any sort of news or any sort of media outlet, you always see the Americans making a big deal out of anything that can even. So they seem desperate to connect anything they can that they disagree with white supremacy, as if that's the greatest sin of all time. In my world, everybody's a white supremacist. We're all fucking white in my country. Everybody's glad we're from this country. We're white. We're proud of it. We're glad we're fucking from the country that we're from. We love it. Doesn't mean I hate black people, but we're white. And it's what any American would call a white supremacist. So that's why they call me a Nazi every video I post. What the fuck did I say? That's bad. Am I an evil person for being glad that I'm from the country that I'm from? That I got the skin color that I got. I love it. What's wrong with that? Aryan, you're so beautiful. Thank you. You know, my mom wrote me a note the other day. Hold on. I'll show you what my mom wrote me so you guys see that I'm not a bad guy. Well, even if I was, she would still probably say good things about me. She said, and this is in Croatian, I'll translate it. My son, Aryan, is the best, most beautiful, smartest, and most capable. I can't read this shit. It's like doctor's writing. Nigh and the most charming man in the world. That's what my mom wrote about me. But to be fair, even if I was ugly, dumb, and if I was not charming, and if I was incapable, she would still say these things about me, because it's mom. That's how moms do. You can shoot up a bus full of kids, your mom's still gonna love you. Which is why people who come from single mother households tend to perform quite poorly, because your mom's not gonna tell you the truth. A man's gonna tell you the truth. He's gonna tell you, you fucking pussy, go to the gym, lose that belly, you fucking faggot. Get your shit together in whatever aspect. The man's gonna tell you that. Your mom's not gonna tell you, no, it's okay, don't worry about the belly. It's okay, a good girl is still gonna love you. Okay, so you get a fat girl, great. And your child is born with type 1 diabetes. So don't take advice on that type of shit from mom. You need men in your life who are gonna bully the shit out of you. He smiled, he's gay, what are you talking about? I'm not fucking gay. I promise you guys, I'm straight as a laser. I can prove it to you. Maybe I should do an OnlyFans. What do you guys think? If I do an OnlyFans where I fuck my girlfriend, would you guys buy it? Just to make sure there's no misunderstandings. Guys, this is a band called, can you guys hear it? It's called The Villagers of Ioana City. It's a Greek rock band. Got some excellent music. How do you get such beautiful topology? Because Thomas Collin is my friend. I hang out with Thomas Collin. I learned from Thomas Collin. So if you want to learn this topology, go to Thomas Collin. He can teach you. He can mentor you. Go talk to him. He's right here in the chat with you. You can also talk to him in my Discord. He also has his own Discord, but you can just click on his name. I think it'll take you to his channel. Okay, you know what? See, this is the problem, right? This is what I want to work on. But this is a slippery slope. You can spend all day working on this shit, and it's debatable whether this even matters. Because look, guys, we got some shading artifacts around here. Look at this. Let me do the car shader. See what I'm talking about? That's not good. The question is whether it's worth fixing every single one of these. I think it is. Guys, are there any Blender YouTubers apart from Thomas Collin? Because Thomas Collin is a gangster. Are there any Blender YouTubers who wouldn't be afraid to be associated with me? If there are, tell me about them. Maybe I can hang out with them. Cause everybody's afraid because I say things about Hitler and I say things about, you know, you guys know what I say. Everybody's afraid to be associated with, even if they agree with me. Everybody's afraid to say it. Everybody's afraid to say faggot. That's a bad word. You get banned if you say that. You're an asshole if you say faggot. I didn't call nobody a faggot. I just said faggot. Just like if I say the N-word with a hard R, does that make me a racist? No, it doesn't. I don't think it does. Not in my world. Because in my country, everybody uses the hard R all the time. But if we ever meet a black person, we're super nice to them. Everybody's super nice to them. Because people treat each other like human beings around here. Only in the American mind does a word identify you or define you as a person. That's ridiculous. I don't hate Americans either. I know I talked a lot of shit about Americans. So far, I don't hate Americans. Wait till I get to Israel. Okay, so how is Ryu like me? I know Ryu. I know that what I think you're referring to is Ryu does not look like a punk bitch. He looks like a man, right? And you guys can tell him I said that. I'm sure that he's gonna appreciate it. Even though I understand if he doesn't want to acknowledge my existence. Because he doesn't want to get himself into... I would imagine he doesn't want to get himself... He doesn't want to be associated with some of the things I say, and I understand that, and I wouldn't blame the man. Well, you guys can tell him I said that. That's a compliment. I want to make the bottom part here a little bit sharper. And I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, I can do some sort of a bevel trick, something sort of like this, but it's going to give me triangles, and that's... Hey, you know what? It's not bad. I'm not that worried about topology on this particular model. I just want it to look cute. See, that actually worked pretty well. What question did you... Oh, Marlon, hello, my friend. What question did you want to ask earlier? I can't remember. I lost it. Tell me, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? I get a lot of stimulus when I'm on these live streams. I got people talking to me. I do 3D modeling at the same time. Then I got beer next to me, so I'm fucking drunk. Then I'm listening to Stone Rock. I don't have any nicotine on me though, so that's good. I think maybe I'll do these simultaneously. A question that I wanted to ask for chat. You say, I can't remember what it was. Somebody remind me. sometimes, like I said to you guys in the previous stream, sometimes I really think I'm autistic. People tend to disagree with me because I don't look like I'm autistic, because people see me as a very extroverted, socially confident person, right? So when I say that I'm autistic, usually people say, no, you're not autistic because you're good at socializing. But I don't necessarily think that. Anyway, the fuck were we talking about? You asked if there was any gays in the chat, and you asked about gay. Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask again, but nobody said they're gay, so I got nobody to ask. And by the way, guys, if anybody raises their hand and says they're gay, I'm gonna ask them a question, but it's gonna be dirty. I'm gonna try to keep it respectable, but I'm genuinely curious. But it's gonna be dirty, so if there's anybody underage, you might want to step out for that part. If anybody says that they're gay, we'll go talk about that shit. You might want to step out. You ever tried substance pain? Yeah. I'm on the spectrum question. If you're on the spectrum, how did you figure out that you're on the spectrum? What were the symptoms that you've observed that made you think, okay, let me go get this checked out, and then they concluded that you are indeed on the spectrum? Or maybe it's just something you were brought up with. I'm not Iranian. No, somebody has to say that they're gay, only then will I ask the question. Yeah, I have some gay friends too. Or acquaintances, rather, because I have pretty high qualifications that need to be met in order for somebody to be in order for me to consider somebody my friend. But I do have some gay acquaintances, certainly. I feel like calling people your friend without certain standards is kind of like being a slut. Just fuck anybody. Being a dirty fucking slut. And that's a dirty thing to be. It's dishonorable. You can't trust those people. They have no standards for themselves. I'm talking about people who call anybody their friends. There should be some sort of a barrier to entry. I would call Thomas Collin my friend. Yes, correct. So nobody's gay. Are you serious? There's nobody gay. I'm a gay. I don't know what that is. Someone's gonna clip this shit and make it sound like I'm gay. How can a man love another man? Yeah, okay, so we'll get there. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta pee again. And then we're gonna talk about homosexuality. Okay. There's a reason that a man can't elope with another man. Okay, so listen. Somebody said that they're gay. Wildfire XXX. Okay, so hold on. Hey, remind me to get back to the autism question from Rudy. We're talking about autism. I want to get back to that, but first we gotta talk about homosexuality, right? Let me change the song real quick. So, give me the mods again. Okay. Okay, so you're gay, which means you are sexually attracted to men, right? Now, I'm a straight man. Let me just see if I can do another passive task while I'm doing this. I'm a straight man and I'm attracted to women. And in my mind, the reason I'm attracted to women is, okay, my monkey brain sees titties, it sees an ass, sees hips. Okay, we gotta make children. That shit over there qualifies. Let's go. Okay, that's how my monkey brain operates. That's what it makes a straight man. So, what I'm trying to grasp, like, give me something that's gonna help me grasp this. What is it about? Oh, hold on. Guys, name a beautiful woman. What's the name of that white bitch? What's the name of that white model? I know, I remember. Sydney Swiney or something. Okay. Here, guys, is a picture of a beautiful woman. You getting this? I will get back to modeling. Just hold on, guys. Here is a beautiful woman. When you're a straight man, this is appealing to you, right? When you're gay, what you're telling me right now is that when you see this, it doesn't do nothing for you. This is just completely. It doesn't intrigue you in any way whatsoever. What intrigues you is this. Check this out. What intrigues you is you look at a man, and I know I'm pretty, but I'm hairy, I sweat, I got a hairy fucking ass. Okay? I got a hairy chest. This is more appealing to you as a man than a woman. A beautiful fucking woman. I need somebody to explain this to me. How is that fucking possible? Because I am pretty for a man, I admit it. But I'm still fucking disgusting compared to a beautiful woman. Dude, I got hair on my shoulders. I got hair on my back. How can this shit appeal to you? Imagine my ass. And imagine her ass. And you're telling me you prefer mine? I don't believe that shit for 1 second. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be offensive. I'm just trying to understand it. Anyway, it's enough titties. Let's get back to modeling. I'm sorry if I was being rude. I'm just very curious about this. I need somebody to explain it to me. I'm like, it's itching. I'm itching to have this explained to me. How is that possible? It doesn't make sense in my head. It's like you're telling me that if you start your car and you start driving, instead of going forwards or backwards, it's gonna go up. It's impossible. How the fuck? You know what? I think we're gonna leave this for now. Hold on, we got some more artifacts here. I think, I don't know, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Some artifacts over here. Look. Don't you feel a duty to create children? Let me explain to you guys what's happening in China. In China, they have an enormous population. And they're a very wealthy country. Which is why they're very powerful. However, due to the one-child policy and whatever, they have an aging population. They have an aging population, and when that population gets really old, there's not going to be enough young people to sustain that, to support that, to keep the economy running and to pay out all the pensioners. There's going to be a huge problem because there's going to be way too many old people and not enough young people. And the country's economy is at risk of collapsing because of that. And as a result, other countries are going to ravage them, as they do when a country is weak. As we all know, when a country is weak, other big countries, they prey on them, right? So in other words, if you're not producing children, you're directly contributing to the downfall. You're directly harming your society, aren't you? And then they're gonna hit me with, okay, but what about adopting children? Well, there shouldn't be children. If you make kids, you gotta take care of them. So that's another problem. That's a bigger problem too. I think he's Croatian and he lives in Poland. I am Croatian, but I don't live in Poland no more. So I think everybody has a responsibility to pump out some babies, guys. Even if you're gay, I think it'll be wise of you to pump out some kids and take care of them. You can do your gay shit on the side, why not? I don't see a problem with that, but pump out some babies, man. Make 3 and then you can do whatever you want. Because then you've met the quota. The quota is 2.2 kids per woman, right? Hard to see the errors here. A little bit of twisting, but it's not too bad. You would pass as a New Yorker. You would fit right in because you talk and act like a New Yorker. No one would bat an eye. I've been to New York City. I found New York people just weird as fuck. No, I found them to be a mix. Some of them are super cool, super chatty, super laid back. But there was a lot of weird fucking people, and that type of shit makes me uncomfortable. It makes me, I feel like it's a very unsafe place. I don't like to see a large number of junkies and crackheads in the street. I don't like that shit. It makes me feel like, I don't know, I don't want to be around that shit. To me, it's a sign of a failed society. And that's what I've seen in New York City when I've been there. It was just shocking to me. It's not something that I can ever see myself being a part of. I do find American people to be quite cool to hang out with, though. I guess it depends on the Americans, but the ones I ran into, they're pretty cool. They chat very easily, and they got more personality, you can say, than perhaps Hungarians, at least when they're speaking English, which they are if they're speaking to me, because I don't speak fucking Hungarian. You hate football? I don't hate football, but I don't like football, and I don't understand the appeal. To me, it's when there is such an enormous number of people that is drawn to something. Not only are they attracted to something, but they're completely obsessed with it. To me, that shows that there's something wrong with it. It's like what I see as cockroaches, pigeons chasing fucking bread. Is it really that attractive that you're gonna be screaming, fighting, getting drunk, getting naked, screaming at the top of your lungs? It ruined your fucking week if your team lost. Are you kidding me? Thoughts on thin skin clankers? I don't know what that means. Thin skin clankers. Hold on. I bet that's a fucking slur. Thin skin clankers. What's a clanker? Oh, it comes from Star Wars. It's a slur for droids. I don't understand the question, though. Clanker is a slur for AI. So that's like a hard R, isn't it? Now the pinching is happening because I have something like this. I have this edge which is sinking down. It should be, if I have a sharp edge here, which I do. Hold on, let me mark them as sharps too. If I got a sharp edge, the face next to that edge and the face beyond that have to be, their normal lines have to be close to parallel. Otherwise we're gonna have some serious pinching or shading issues or whatever. Okay, right now I think I'm splitting hairs, but I want this to look presentable. What's the time? It's 8:30. Yeah, this is where we got problems. Check this out. Guys, there's no ads on this live stream because I want to be able to listen to music and I want to be able to say crazy shit. I want to be able to use the F word. I want to be able to talk to you guys from the heart without getting demonetized or getting into trouble. So instead of ads, there's a link in the description for my ebook, which is going to teach you about Blender. And I think I also put the link for, did I put in the link for my course? Doesn't matter. There's an ebook link below which is going to teach you all about all these fucking techniques which you guys can see me use here. If you're not familiar with some of them, you got questions. Aryan, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? How's your topology so clean? I explained all that in my ebook. So if you want to learn about that, or if you just want to support the channel, because YouTube doesn't, YouTube fucking hates me as you would imagine, then go check it out. Hold on, did I skip this part? Okay, that's pretty clean. I've been stuck on this part for hours. This one's a little bit fucked. There we go. That's better. See that can't happen. We got this edge over here, and then it should be kind of parallel with this one, but it's not. That's how we got this shading. So if we lift it up, now it's almost a straight line, then it's gonna behave better. What country do you live in now, and what is the goal? Right now I'm in Croatia. What do you mean by what is the goal? What country do I want to live in? I don't have a country that I dreamed of. I've already lived all over the fucking place. I like to. My goal is to have myself set up in several different countries, so that I can easily and comfortably go and spend a lot of time in any of those countries anytime I want to. For example, I consider myself to be quite well set up in. For me, it's all about the connections you have, right? If you got some friends where you can just go anytime you want, stay for free, as long as you like, and you know your way around that country, you're set up in that country. So I'm not stuck to Croatia. I can go to fucking Hungary tomorrow, to Budapest. I can stay there as long as I want to. I go to Copenhagen tomorrow. I can stay there as long as I want to. I go to Warsaw tomorrow. Stay there as long as I want to. It feels like home for me, because I lived in these places and I know people in those places. And my goal, I would say, is to have that outside of Europe, outside of the European Union. So I would like to have Russia as a place where I can where I can go and stay, because I think EU is bound to fucking collapse. NATO is bound to collapse. It's all going to shit. I think Russia's a pretty decent place with decent people, which doesn't fall victim to the garbage that we do over here in the Western world. I have family in Poland. That's beautiful. Tuned in from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Isn't that incredible? That's lovely. Hey, I heard it in Ethiopia. They supposedly have the Ark of the Covenant. Ark of the... How the fuck you pronounce it? Ark of the Covenant. How do you say it? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Supposedly they have that thing there somewhere. And it's guarded 24/7 by these monks of some sort. I think I heard this on Joe Rogan, so I'm talking out of my ass. It could just be some bullshit, but interesting thought anyway. Yeah, we were supposed to do this too, look. Nobody answered my gay question, guys. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about topology. I don't care if I got impulse, but I just want to make sure that shit is flowing in a smooth way. I want to make sure that everything looks decent and smooth. So as long as it looks smooth, I'm not worried about the topology. See, this is not good. I think this looks messy and troublesome. Hold on, how are we gonna fix this? Hold on, here's an easy way to fix it, guys. Take down the subdivision, you go to shade flat, and now you can see the shading more easily. So here, perhaps we want to bring these up a little bit more. Guys, tell me when AI is going to be able to do this. How? I can't even do this. How is the computer going to figure out what he's supposed to do? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. There is no answer to this question that a computer can compute. Somebody asked me about the Rumble channel. What do you want me to post, guys? What should I post? Maybe I'll make some music there. I can play the song that we're listening to right now, Horse is Green by 1000 Mods. Yeah, it is probably because of the end poles, but I think it's more because of the bending around the end poles. That's the problem. And there's not really a way to get around it. See, the rule is, if you have end poles, you don't want to have them. This here should be a problem because it's an end pole on a hard corner. However, that's not the part that's giving me problems, right? This is fine. And this part here is fine. It's just the bigger bumps around this area caused by these vertices around here. That's what's giving me problems. Look, look, look. Now it looks terrible. I tried so hard to fix it. If we bring these closer, it's gonna help contain some of those artifacts a little bit. I wonder what Thomas Collin would do. That's not bad. Why did you get deported from Poland? I didn't get deported from Poland. I'm white. And I'm a Christian. Christian Catholic, too. Why would they deport me? Can you turn on... Bro, can you turn on the next track up? Okay. Yeah, guys. You want me to play guitar? I'll play guitar, not today. I'm not on live stream. Because I don't know how to set up the fucking sound. I don't know how it's gonna sound. I have no idea. I never did this shit, especially live. I never tried to fucking directly record myself from the computer playing guitar. What I can do, however, is I can do it on Rumble. I can play it for your song. Just make sure that your girlfriend doesn't see the video. But Rumble, okay, how do I send you the link for the Rumble channel? Because I think if you just go to Rumble and type in Aryan Race, ARIJANRACE, you're gonna find me. They're saying I gotta add more loops, huh? I don't think that's gonna help. That's gonna make it worse. See, what I did before was I used a lower poly model. This one here. This is what I did before. And this gave me all sorts of artifacts. They were harder to control here, but now I added more vertices, hoping that it's gonna make the artifacts a little bit better. I guess it didn't work out too well, did it? See, it's because of this type of shit that's happening. It's because we have all this stretching going on. Caused by the low poly mesh. So I need to have more polygons, more subdivision? Yeah, I guess so. Now we can fix it, it's just gonna be tedious work. What if we do it with some sculpting? Because it's just a matter of inflating and deflating parts of the surface. Hold on, let's try something. Because if I would apply this subdivision surface modifier like this, then we go to sculpt mode, and we use this tool down here called flatten. A different matte cap. See, it looks good when you use a different matte cap. It looks totally fine. What about this one? This is going to reveal everything. If we use a flatten tool, oh shit. It's not gonna work, is it? We're just gonna make it worse. No, it's not gonna work. Or another idea that I came up with, if we really wanted to take this all the way, yeah, was I using the right tool in sculpting? Another idea that I had was that we can delete the contents of the hole, and then I can take this other version of the model that I have here without the holes, which doesn't have any artifacts, and then I shrink wrap this onto that surface, and then I add the fucking holes. That might be an interesting experiment to conduct. Because see, this one here is nice and smooth, just without the holes. See that? It's on every single one. We didn't even manage to fix one of them. one fucking... Basically, the good news is that I'm using a super revealing shader. If you do something more normal like this, you can still see it. What if we turn off cavity? And what if we clear the sharps? Object shade smooth. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's right, and this is the curse of being a 3D artist, right? My mom would say, "Oh, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's so nice. Good job, son." It's bullshit. For me, it's fucking embarrassing. She would say, "Oh no, that doesn't matter. Oh, don't worry about that. It's okay." But my brother would tell me, "What are you, a fucking pussy? I've been doing this 10 years. You can't make some bumps go away." Hold on, guys. Let me get my food. Don't delete the holes, just extrude them from shrink wrap by creating and applying a vertex group. Bite of my food. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm eating because I gotta hit the gym later. I gotta do some squats and some deadlifts. It's just because we need some calories and I want something that is reasonably easy to digest. So that's cheese. I got brie cheese and I got bread, dark bread because I don't eat white bread. And mayonnaise. Okay. No. Okay, mark all the creases. Crease and mark them all as seams. Hold on, the song is too fast. I'm eating. Oh, Thomas is back. Thomas, what are you talking about? Do you drink milk from the titties? Okay, so I want to take everything except the holes. I don't know if this is gonna work. It might just bug out, but let's try. I'm just curious. I never tried this as a method before. Getting rid of... Thomas, help me out. Thomas, give me some advice while you're here. So look, I made all these holes, but the problem is they all got these little fucking artifacts down here. See those little bumps? And it's because this shit down here is crooked. Yeah, there's not enough topology, there's not enough geometry. But how do we make this go away now without completely redoing the whole thing? Is there a way to do that? But look, if we take this, we're gonna duplicate it in case we fuck up. So we probably will fuck up. Oh no. Okay, there's my backup down here. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. I want to wrap it around this model down here. I think it should be the same. Guys, let's be honest, nobody finds this shit fun. Nearest surface point, okay. Let's see what happens. Fly. Oh, this has to be before subdivision surface modifier. No. We got problems down here. Yeah, this one's fucked up. Let's try it. Didn't work. Unless we do the following. First we apply, let's say, another level of subdivision surface, and then we apply the shrink wrap. Okay, I get it. That's what you meant by vertex group. Okay. This was the model that we were fucking with this whole time. The vertex group is going to be this surface right here. Let's say the one in the back too. Anything that we do want to shrink wrap. Use this one, it's just a mirrored version. But this large surface here needs to be the vertex group, right? And only that will be affected by the shrink wrap modifier. Okay, so if we select that group, it's only this. We don't want the holes to be shrink wrapped, we only want the surface. What's your favorite band? 1000 mods. the problem is that it didn't work. That's the problem. I think we fucked it up so bad that it is beyond repair. Now I also fucked this part up too. So the shrink wrap didn't work. Because it is on the surface. However, them being on the surface doesn't work because they're still not organized in a clean way. Okay, let's try a couple more times. What if we do this? We do orthographic projection. And then they are in a straight line now. We just have to There's no victory here, is it? But it doesn't even look bad from this angle. It doesn't look that bad at all. It's only from this angle. I'm trying to find excuses. Now, this is the reason why it's so fucked up. We have all this stretching here, and yeah, that is because of an end pole or E pole or whatever. Because there's no way that you can have these faces here without bending them. The point is you want to minimize that bending, but here there's simply not enough faces to make them small enough to make the artifacts go away. See, this shouldn't be happening. Oh, it's bullshit. No, we don't want that. Guys, how can anybody enjoy doing this? Nobody enjoys this shit. But it is one of those things where It's kind of like mathematics. I don't believe anybody enjoys doing that shit, but it's a flex. Now that's what I like to hear. Just let it be. Fuck yeah. Try a loop. What loop? What's a loop gonna do? A loop's not gonna help me. This dimple is down here, which means there is a bit of a cavity right there. Get rid of this. Which means to get rid of that cavity, we want to inflate some of these. Even this one. Now, we're just not going to make it go away. It is what it is. It is what it is. How about we say this? It's not supposed to be perfect anyway. Nothing's perfect in real life, right? Hold on, check this out. We'll throw in HDRI. And we'll try what it looks like in cycles. Watch this, guys. Dexters, give me my HDRIs. Courtyard, no. Give me something indoors. Royal Esplanade. Royal Esplanade. You know when you go shopping, don't you just feel like a victim? Everything there is designed to fuck you, to get money out of you. It's so overwhelming. Everything is flashing, shining. Come buy this, buy this, buy this. It is so overwhelming. What the fuck kind of shading is that? It's terrible. Fine, we'll make our own. We'll make our own. Where are we gonna place it? Let's try over here. How about we got another lamp around the ceiling? Turn that shit up. I'm trying to see if there's artifacts visible when we set this up with a little bit of lighting, when we set this up with some materials. And I think it actually looks pretty nice. Good to me. Fuck it. hours. Fuck it, guys. That's enough. 2 hours I've been dealing with this shit. It's fucking agonizing. Okay. How about try to relax in space? Trust me, guys, I tried everything. I tried everything. I started learning and using Rhino 8 for jewelry modeling, and it's great. This is my first experience with CAD modeling, and it feels like another world. What is your first experience with CAD modeling? But yeah, it is another world. Yeah, this is for product visualization. You keep saying normal transfer. What do you mean by that? What's normal transfer gonna do? Not data transfer. Normal transfer. And not weighted normals. Normal transfer. I don't know what that is. Okay. But look. Let me show you guys what we got. And this needs to be mirrored. Should have added some creases here to sharpen this part, but whatever. So do you guys think 9/11 was an inside job? Or no? Look, we fucked that up real good. So here's how we're gonna connect them. First of all, we're gonna delete the lower half and we're gonna replace the lower half with a copy of the upper half. So give me that. And we gotta clean this up. Then we gotta, fuck me. Let's just bridge these again. Man, a brain surgeon's job is not as fucked up as mine. Look. We didn't connect something here. How? Uh-huh. See if that's a smooth transition. Ah, that's pretty good. What will happen here? Well, at least I know this stream won't stay later on for me to learn. It's gonna stay. Yeah, I look like I'm on Fent because I'm working fucking topology for the past 8 hours I've been sitting here. I feel like I'm on Fent. It's got me fucked up. There comes a point, guys, when you spend enough hours on this computer, you reach a point where it becomes worse than the lowest form of addiction known to man. it becomes worse than Fent. It's like your brain is completely fried. That's how I feel right now. I feel like I don't have the capacity to think straight anymore. I wouldn't sit behind the wheel anymore. What the fuck did we do? How are they not mirrored properly? This is what I don't understand. Okay. Make it look a little bit more round. Okay, we gotta deflate this just a little bit. Fuck this up again. Would it be easier with booleans? Maybe. Maybe. Or whatever the fuck you said. Say your thoughts on 9/11. It's gonna get me banned. But okay, let me say it like this. There is a country which you're not allowed to criticize because you're gonna go to jail. And because, well, supposedly a large number of them went through something, which means you're not supposed to say anything bad about them. This country, as we know, controls the United States of America. They will do absolutely anything they have to do to get America on their side, to get them to support their greedy fucking interests. For example, attacking Iraq. False flag attacks. They're known to use false flag attacks. USS Liberty, for example. The, what do you call it? What's the name of the Levon affair? And what happened was, well, they staged another false flag attack so they would get America to attack another country which supposedly had nuclear weapons, which of course they didn't, but it was just a problem because they were becoming too powerful. And this particular country, which is imaginary, of course, this country doesn't exist, I'm just a crazy crackhead, I'm talking out of my ass. This Iraq was a problem for them if they had nuclear weapons or if they were becoming too powerful. It was impossible to conquer them by themselves. So if you make a false flag attack, you convince this big boy America to come help you completely wreck this country, then now there's somebody who you might be able to integrate into the greater imaginary country that I'm talking about here, which also includes a large portion of Saudi Arabia, fucking Syria, a good piece of Egypt. I think they go as far as Iran, Lebanon. They're fucking nuts. Absolutely fucking nuts. They believe that this entire territory belongs to them. They have America by the balls. So they have America as their slave. And they convince the American population to continue to pay tax to fund these wars by making a false flag attack. Yeah. That's what 9/11 was all about. And this is the government that you guys pay taxes to. And these are the people that tell you how to act, how to behave. These are the people that judge other countries, that tell you what's happening in this world. These are the people you put your faith in. Just remember that. They betrayed you on a level which is unimaginable to a good-hearted person like presumably most people watching the stream right now. It's unimaginable how the savagery that these people are capable of committing. guys hear that? This is a great breakdown. Yeah, see, look at my topology, guys. Don't say anything good about my topology, because this is one of my loops. When you select your loops, you don't you don't want to see this. So this is completely fucking horrendous. But I don't care about topology, like I said to you guys. What I care about here is that it looks good. Yeah, I'm glad that I see so many people agree with what I said here about this imaginary country that I just brought up. And by the way, guys, there's a person with large ears who said that the term Free Palestine is the equivalent of saying Hail Hitler. Which means I now have a way of saying Hail Hitler without getting into trouble. I can just say Free Palestine. Isn't that great? No, that should have stayed. What we need to do now is take this fucking thing in the front here and flip it and connect it back down. Guys, don't be afraid to speak your mind just because it's socially unacceptable. You got no idea how many people I got that don't want to be my friends no more. But guess what? Guess what? I still have loving people around me. You can speak your mind and get away with it more than you think. You know, it's easier when you know how to fight and when you look like you know how to fight, because then nobody's really going to challenge you. They might get mad at you, but they're not really going to do anything about it. You can speak your mind pretty freely. So far, I said some pretty crazy shit in front of people publicly, which I thought as a child I was brought up to think that I'm going to get killed, I'm going to get beat up, I'm going to be ostracized for saying these kind of things. I said them, I'm still fine. So I guess we're going to see what happens. If you guys come back tomorrow and then you realize this channel has been deleted, you know why. So like this, we have to flip it. Then we have to wire this back together. This has to be flat. Shit. Yeah, exactly. I'm only 127,000 subscribers. I'm still too small for anybody to care about me talking about anything like this, but I do get people on Reddit get mad at me sometimes. They call me a Nazi and all this, but you know, it's just free publicity as far as I'm concerned. I did lose a lot of, I don't want to say friends, acquaintances who don't want to hang out with me because I say things like this, because everybody knows that I'm right. They can't disagree with what I'm saying. It's just scary to say these things because people are brainwashed to think that this is the worst thing you can possibly say. So they have to remove themselves from it and pretend like they're mad and offended by it, even though they're not. They have no fucking idea what we're talking about here. Most people could not... Most of the people who would see what I just said to you a couple of minutes ago as unacceptable, most of them would not be able to present any good counter arguments because they don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. However, they would get personally offended, or they would act like they're personally offended just to signal to the world that they disagree with this just because they've been programmed to disagree with it. So there's the world we live in. So guys, remember that when you're walking outside worried about what somebody's thinking about. People are fucking retarded. What somebody thinks about you is irrelevant. Do what the fuck you want to do. If you want to be shirtless, then be shirtless. Yeah, I did get a silver plaque. Who said I hate India? I don't hate nobody. Listen, I don't have any space in my heart for hate. I don't carry hatred around. I don't hate India, but I know, for example, that India has got some shit on them. I know that India supports Israel, or Indians generally support Israel, which I can't say I agree with, clearly. It's a very dirty country. And also they have a very intolerant, as far as I'm aware, of a caste system which makes them treat people, which makes them rank people into these ranks in the social hierarchy, and people who are below them in this social hierarchy they treat as animals. They don't treat them like human beings, which is not something that I can really respect in a society. Because in my society, even from my perspective, it doesn't matter if you're a prime minister or if you're homeless. I'm still gonna treat you with the same decency, assuming you treat me with the same decency. I can't imagine how your level of social status can affect the way I treat you in the basic sense, in terms of greeting you, looking you in the eye when I speak to you, shaking your hand, and treating you as a decent human being. For me, this is unimaginable. For me, if you don't have this, you're not a civilized human being. So if you don't see it the same way that I see it, in this sense, I don't consider you to be civilized in my world. And there's something wrong with you. You're a fucking savage if you don't see it fit to treat human beings as human beings. Assuming, of course, they treat you as human beings. And I'm not interested in pretending like I see those kind of people as decent. Which is why I'm not really interested in visiting too much. I am interested in visiting just so I can see it for myself, but it doesn't really attract me, to be honest with you. And I can see the same thing about another country which has blue and white on their flag, and they have a 6-point star on their flag as well. I've seen these people treat each other, treat their own, like animals, let alone somebody who differs from them. I've seen them treat people like animals, and for me, that's not a human being worthy of my presence. I don't think I could live with myself if I had to go to a place and pretend like I find somebody even remotely acceptable when they behave that way. Guys, let me ask you a question. You look at some people in the world today, let's say world leaders, and let's say they show up at your door. And you ask yourself, would you let this particular world leader enter your house? Would you have a cup of coffee with them? With some of them you would, with some of them you would not. Me personally, if Putin knocked on my door, I would love to have a coffee with him. I would let him into my house and I would treat him like a man. Donald Trump, even though the way he's conducting foreign policy these days I think is foolish, I still respect him as a man, and I would invite him into my house, into my home, to have a cup of coffee. Because there are a lot of things that I do respect about the man. Kim Jong-un, I would invite into my home. Certainly, I would treat him with a cup of coffee. I find him to be a very interesting guy. And there's a guy with big ears who I would not invite into my fucking home. I wouldn't engage in violence. My playlist, it's not really a playlist, it's just I'm clicking on random shit, but this is 1000 mods right now, playing this right now. Currently the album is Youth of Descent, which is, I think, not their latest album, but the one before the latest. I'm gonna play another one for you. It's called King Buffalo. That's the band, King Buffalo. And now we're gonna have to bevel something. I think that's enough, guys. 9:17 on a Tuesday. We've been here a total of 2 hours. This hasn't even been that long. But I had enough. I want to take a break. I want to spend some time. I want to spend some time in my... Oh, hello from Israel. Speak of the devil. We were just talking about Israel. We were just talking about how there are some societies which see it fit to treat another human being as an animal. Regardless of the circumstances, these societies are not somebody who I can see as who I can pretend like I accept and tolerate. So I want to ask you, Mr. the gentleman from Israel, do you see your neighbors, who your country is currently engaged in a conflict with, as human beings, or do you see them as savages and animals who should be wiped from the face of Earth? I'm just curious, no personal offense intended. We've been here 2 hours, guys. I got my little cuts taken care of properly. I wanna... The next thing I'm gonna have to do here... Well, I gotta fix up these little things, but I gotta bevel it. I gotta bevel these little parts for the shading, and then I just gotta add a couple more elements, like this little spring here and this. I already have this thing, though, look. These two here, I already have them. Place that there. I gotta extend this a little further. I gotta add some little tiny details, but make it 3 hours. If you want to make it 3 hours, here's what's gonna happen, guys. Should we make it 3 hours, or should we wrap it up for today? Give me a 0 if we should wrap it up, and give me 1 if we should keep rolling. Meantime, I'm gonna take a piss. I'm gonna pour myself some beer into my fucking pitcher. As human beings. Well, I appreciate you saying so, Mr. Yuval. I hope you understand my reason for asking you this question. 1, 1, 1, 10. Okay, hold on, guys. Guys, I got an idea while I was on the bathroom. I got an idea for what we can talk about. 24-hour stream, but then I'm gonna have to take you guys to the gym with me. What are we doing? 1-4 for vote. You're voting for whether we're gonna keep streaming. No, it's not gonna be 24 fucking hours. But listen, do a fence stream. Fuck no. Hold on. It's always fun when he goes off on a tangent talking about world issues, but then it sucks because we're not free to speak our minds. Yeah, you are. Look at me. So far, I said that that 9/11 was committed by Israel. So far, I said Hail Hitler multiple times. I expressed controversial views about homosexuality. I said some pretty crazy shit, and here we are still with 127,000 fucking subscribers. So it's not that bad. Guys, listen, I came up with what I want to talk to you about while I was on the bathroom, on the toilet, and also putting my shit away. Let me just fix up my lighting real quick. Hold on. How's that? Just make sure I'm cute. Okay. Why can't you make daily vlogs? Daily vlogs about what? What do you think about aliens? Yeah, there's definitely something. But listen, I'm a Christian myself. I was raised Christian Catholic, but I would consider myself to be more of a sort of an unconventional Christian. I believe in Christ. I believe in the message of Jesus Christ. However, I think that the church as an organization was formed by man, and it's not obvious to me that I'm obliged to subscribe to this stuff. So I follow Christ. I like his message, but I don't feel an urge. I don't see it appropriate to participate in another man's interpretation of this shit through the church. Anyway, besides the point, I'm a fucking Christian, right? And I've been reading the Old Testament. And a lot of Christians, they're delusional. Or maybe they're not delusional, maybe this is just their way of looking at things. But a lot of people act like as a Christian you're obliged to follow the Bible as a set of rules, the same way that Muslims are obliged to follow the Quran as a set of rules, right? To me, this does not make any sense. And I'm going to explain to you why. In the Bible, and Christianity as a whole is not the idea that you subscribe to the Bible, which was constructed by lots of people and then put together. So there's a lot of books that are written by lots of people and it was put together by another man, so this is produced by man. So in my view, this is not the word of Christ directly. This is a collection of works put together by man, and it's not obvious to me that I must obey this as the direct word of God. And in this book called the Bible, the King James Version at least, it consists of the Old Testament and the New Testament. Just think about how we're going to bevel this. I got to select my creases here, and I'm going to duplicate this in case I fuck something up. You have the Old Testament and you have the New Testament. Now, the Old Testament is considered to be a sort of, or at least I consider it to be a sort of record of history. Just a record of history. The book of Genesis, the book of Exodus, the book of Leviticus, the book of Numbers, the book of Deuteronomy. Those are the 5 books, the first 5 books of the Holy Bible. They also make the Torah, which is the Jewish holy book, or one of the Jewish holy scriptures. I don't want to bevel these yet. Guys, now playing, by the way, a Somali Yacht Club. Okay, so Yuval says we don't know anything about the situation. So let me ask you this, Yuval. I accept your proposition, and I've heard a lot of Israelis say this. You guys are just reading the news about Palestine. We're not wiping out huge numbers of people. It's just the news. Okay, maybe. Now I've seen lots of videos online, which I think I'm smart enough to be able to see that they're not artificial intelligence. I've also spoken to people because I'm a pretty established YouTuber. I've spoken to people who are in Gaza, who reach out to me because of my content, and then I get to speak to them from time to time. People who are in Gaza, who are in Palestine. And I've seen footage from them, I've seen footage on the internet, I've seen footage from all sorts of places of just how obliterated this place is. It is clear to me that this place is being wiped off the fucking map. And the idea that they're targeting certain buildings because there is a certain terrorist organization in some of these buildings, and as a result they just wipe out the entire city, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I've heard somebody say this, make the argument that this is the same as if you have a school shooter. You don't just wipe out the entire fucking school. You don't carpet bomb the entire school. That's ridiculous. There's no way to justify that. So what you're telling me is that the footage that I've seen from people that I've spoken to directly is false. And there isn't an ethnic cleansing going on. There isn't a genocide going on because Israel and its elite leaders are elected on the platform of creating a greater Israel and rejecting a two-state solution, which I think there's overwhelming evidence that this is exactly what's going on. But I do also understand that in Israel, people are taught from a very young age. And you know what else I want to ask your opinion on, since you're from Israel? There's this guy on YouTube, on what the fuck am I talking about? So you're from Israel, and there's this guy on Instagram that I've seen, right? I can't remember his name, but it's this Palestinian kid who makes these videos where he talk. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Good day, sir. Currently working on Rampage Rally. What is that? Rampage Rally. I don't know what that is. It's my first time hearing about that. Rampage Rally. Driving event organizers. Yeah, there's this guy on Instagram, and I'll get back to the Bible thing I was talking about before. I know that I digress, but there's this kid from Israel who, not from Israel, from Palestine, who goes on Omegle and then he talks to people, supposedly Israelis, right? And when he gets an Israeli on Omegle, then he films their reaction to him saying that he's from Palestine. And a lot of times it's little children, 10 years old, and when he tells them he's from Palestine, they get so pissed off, they get so enraged, they start spitting so much hatred. I've never seen this come out of another human being in my life, and I'm 25 years old and I live in a relatively rough part of the world, you might say, with some pretty rough people, but I've never seen that type of hatred part of a human being. But it's like there's so many children who respond so aggressively to him saying he should die, you're a bitch. They spit on him, they cuss him out, and this population sees these people as somebody who deserves to be treated this way. It's shocking to me, and I think I don't know what you can tell me that can change my mind, unless they're all paid actors, little children. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. And then typically Israelis will hit me with, "Oh, come on, Aryan. I thought you're better than this. How can you fall for that propaganda?" So if it's propaganda, they sure got me, but... Rampage Rally, thank you again for the super chat. Rampage Rally is an international render challenge. Okay. Hey, share it in the Discord server. There's a Discord server in the description. Maybe, I don't know if they're still open to participants, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the Discord that are going to want to join in. Okay, so the Bible story. And hold on, let me just make sure that I'm about to bevel this right. The Bible story that I was talking about before, guys. Not sure if we should bevel this part yet. No. So we got the Old Testament and we got the New Testament. The Old Testament is a record of history for us, as far as I'm aware, as far as I understand it, and the New Testament it consists of writings about the life of Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ was a man. To me, as a Christian, he was a man, or the Son of God, but he was a manifestation of God in human form, right? But he was, let's say he was a man who gave some really good fucking spiritual advice for how you can live a more peaceful and spiritually complete life. And regardless of whether you believe that he was resurrected and all the miracles he performed, it doesn't matter. The guy had some great advice. You gotta admit that. He had positive advice. I've never heard anybody argue against that point. It was some great advice, which is definitely gonna help anybody who listens to it. Now, the Old Testament it's nothing to do with Jesus Christ for the most part. A lot of it in the book of in the Torah, in the first 5 books of Moses, they talk about the Jewish people. And I remember reading this one part, I think it was in the book of Leviticus or something like that, which lays out the laws that God gave to the Jews. See, look at this bullshit, guys. We gotta have an expanding bevel. We gotta have a sharp bevel here and an isoturn big here. I think we're doing a pretty good job so far. And in these books, there's a lot of really crazy shit in this Old Testament. For example, I remember there being one part, okay, on Saturday, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, and you guys know Saturday is the day of rest for the Jews. And they're not supposed to do work on these days. I can't wait to get to my fucking Budapest story after this, guys. I'll tell you a story about the Jewish encounter that I've had in Budapest just a couple of days ago. Can you imagine Aryan interacting with a Jew? But listen, I remember it saying something like, okay, you're not supposed to work on Saturday, okay, that's fine. But then anybody who you catch working on a Saturday or picking up sticks to make a fire or something like that, you have to stone them or you execute them or whatever the fuck. Well, okay, that's interesting. That's a little bit rough, perhaps. But then it says, even if they're not from your tribe, even if they're not Jewish, if you catch somebody collecting sticks or something like that, collecting wood on a Saturday, you have to execute them regardless of whether they're from your... Are you Hungarian? No, I'm not, but Budapest is like a home to me because I lived there for a couple of years. So it says, they say even if they're not Jewish, if you catch somebody working on a Saturday, you have to smoke them, you have to kill them, you have to execute them. What the fuck is that, guys? So this is the same set of books, the first 5 books of Moses, which have the 10 Commandments. And then the Christians tell you that as a Christian you're supposed to abide by the 10 Commandments. These are rules set for you. But this is the same book that tells me we gotta stone somebody if they pick sticks on a fucking Saturday. I don't buy it, is all I'm saying. Because the 10 Commandments say thou shalt not kill. And then it says, kill the motherfucker picking sticks on Saturday. So what are we talking about? Which one is it? And then they also hit you with, you can't pick and choose which rules, which part of the Bible you're gonna stick to and which one you're not. This is what I hear, guys. Look at me. Look at me. Okay? This is what I hear. Oh, you're a Christian. You're a Christian. You can't have that. You can't pick and choose which rules you're gonna stick by. It says no tattoos, no tattoos. Okay. Well, then if you're working on Saturday, I'm supposed to stone your ass? Fucking nuts. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. I'm 25 years old. What do I know? Guys, read the Talmud. I encourage you. You're gonna have a fun time. And then I promised you guys a tale about my encounter with a Jewish person, a Jewish lady in Budapest. Should I share what I've made in the challenge section? Yeah, you can just share it in general, or even in the library. I think it'll be fine because it's Blender related. This we're gonna extend up to here. So let me tell you the encounter I've had in Budapest with a Jewish lady. And this was maybe about a week ago, or a little bit over a week ago. I went to Budapest. Today is Monday, Tuesday, whatever the fuck it is. Tuesday, August 26th. I went to Budapest. On August 13th, I believe, I drove from Zagreb to Budapest. It's part of a little road trip, as I said to you guys before. I went to Budapest and I went to Prague. When I go to Budapest, I spend some time with my lady. And Budapest, I don't know if you guys have ever been there, if any of you are from Budapest, but Budapest is a very active city. In the city center of Budapest, there's a couple of, there's a couple of Jewish districts, right? Or it is the 7th district, is the Jewish district, which is in the city center, which also happens to be where all the parties are and clubs and bars and all this crazy shit going on. So if I go there, if I go out with my girl, I'm in the 7th district, the Jewish district. This is also where I lived when I used to live in Budapest. They got a couple of synagogues, and pretty much every day if you walk around there, you're gonna see, look at my fucking face flow. pretty much every day you're gonna see some traditional Jewish people walking around. Traditional meaning they dress up in their traditional clothing. You can see these are the Orthodox Jews, right? And now you see them on every corner, and given the situation in the world today, sometimes you got some Muslim guys and they'll yell like Free Palestine when they see them on the corner, you know. And I'm walking down from Blaha Luisater, for those of you who are from Budapest, who are familiar, I'm walking from Blaha towards, I'm walking down Akacfa Utca in Budapest. I used to live on that street. We're going towards this bar. Telep is the bar. It's one of my favorite bars in Budapest. If you want to find me, if you want to shoot me in the head, that's where you're going to find me if I'm in Budapest. But I'm walking down the street, and then right in front of me, I see this Jewish woman with like 4 kids. And I'm thinking, like, looking back on it now, me with my girl, you can clearly see that we are goyim, right? You can clearly tell from a mile away that we are not Jewish. There's no question about it. We both got tattoos. I'm wearing my short button shirt unbuttoned halfway. I got my shades on. I look like a scumbag, right? It's very clear that I'm not an Orthodox Jew. And this lady, she stops me. She says, "Excuse me," just as I'm passing by. She's right next to the entrance to this building. "Excuse me, can you please help me?" And as critical as I am of things that the Jews are doing today, when I see a woman with children, for me, this is and just in general, there's no way I could let my political views affect the way I treat somebody on a personal level. Except in extreme cases, right? So, I see a woman with children needing help, and my instincts tell me I gotta help these people. Everything else aside, regardless of the prejudice I may have towards these people, right? And hold on, why is it not straight? G-stretch is fucking with me. And she shows me a piece of paper with a code on it. And she's like, "Can you please?" Yeah, exactly. People are people, and it's women and children. If it's war, I'm not shooting women and children. I'm not like fucking... I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I mean, right? Women and children are not in my gun sights. My name, I'll explain it to you later, but... So she comes to me with a piece of paper with a code on it. "Hey, can you please help me? This is the code for opening the door. Can you please help me how to open it," right? I take the paper. I take the piece of paper, right? It's like this. I look at it, and it's a code clear as day. And I ask her, "Okay, so this is for like an Airbnb or something. You want to open this door to the building?" Okay. In my mind, and first of all, by the way, in Budapest, you gotta watch your back. There's pickpocketers. I don't know who I'm dealing with, so what I see is a woman possibly distracting me with something. There's 4 kids around me. They're fucking sneaky. Maybe they're gonna rob me. I look at my girlfriend. She's standing on the side. She's looking at my back. She's looking at my pockets. We'll be fine. Okay. And there's just kids and a woman. No one's gonna rob my ass. Okay. Now they got my full attention. I look at the code. Okay, there's a code. There's a keypad. You put in the fucking code into the keypad, and the door opens. Who would have thought, right? "Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, have a nice day. My pleasure. Goodbye." And I walk away satisfied with myself because of my ability to put my prejudice aside and help a woman with some children in need. I've always been a gentleman. And, you know, I felt good. Maybe finally I'm able to... Maybe I develop a soft spot for these people. Okay, because they're still decent human beings. When somebody says, "Please, thank you, excuse me," it goes a long way with me. And I keep walking down the street. It's broad daylight. I'm not drunk or nothing like that. I'm sober as fuck. And we're walking. I'm talking to my girl about what just happened. Then it hits me. This was a grown woman in a civilized society, in a first world city, you might say. She asked me to put in the code. In my mind, it's because she couldn't figure it out. Then it hit me, like, how do you not figure it? What do you not understand? There's a paper with 6 numbers on it. You look at the numbers, you put it in the keypad, the door fucking opens. What do you need help with? What the fuck? How do you not? And I'm walking down the street, I'm thinking about it. It's boggling me. How do you not know this? How do you not understand it? What's the problem? I'm not trying to be an asshole. It just doesn't. I don't understand it. And then we get in the bar, whatever. I brush it off. We get in the bar. We sit down. And there's a lot of Jews passing by here from time to time, and we're talking about whatever, which is we're talking about the Jews. We're talking about Israel and all this. And then it hits me. Wait a minute. It's fucking Saturday. Could it be because it's fucking Saturday? And I'm like, hold on a minute. I pull out ChatGPT. I asked him. I still got the conversation on my phone right here, as a matter of fact. I asked ChatGPT. It's on my other phone, I think. I asked ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, I just had a Jewish woman stop me on the street in Budapest. Traditional Jewish woman with some kids. It's Saturday. She wanted me to help her open the fucking keypad for the apartment building. And I helped her, of course. But is it because it's fucking Saturday and she's not allowed to use the keypad? However, me, being a non-Jew, in other words, being a goyim, being a fucking beast, savage animal, according to the Talmud anyway, I'm allowed to commit this horrible sin, but she is not allowed to. And that's why she asked me to open the fucking keypad. Now maybe I'm taking it too far. I doubt that it's that deep from her perspective. From her perspective, it's just, well, we're not supposed to use electronics. Other people are allowed, so whatever. I doubt that. To me, it's not clear to me that she sees me as a savage. But the principle that drives her to ask for my help with this, it is based on the idea that I am a fucking savage while she is part of God's chosen civilization. I felt like such a fucking fool, man. ChatGPT told me, absolutely, it's because it's fucking Saturday and real Orthodox Jews, they're not allowed to use electronics like that. Keypads are off limits. That's exactly what it was. Can you fucking believe that, guys? It ruined my fucking evening. I'll be honest with you, it did. Hey, Timeless about visuals, thank you again. I shared what I've made in library. Okay, let's check it out. Which one are you, Timeless Visuals? I'm guessing you're this one, because this is the most recent one. So you made this whole thing from scratch, did you? Rampage, yeah, okay, that's it. Rampage Rally. That looks pretty fucking cool, doesn't it? Look. It's pretty fucking cool. I'd like to see this rendered in cycles, though. That is nice. I want to see this with some shadows, man. With some cycles rendering. Set it up if I don't know if that's the plan, but I think it would be a cool thing to see. In cycles, because this is still Eevee, right? Sure, it looks like Eevee to me. But I think a cycle shot of this would be pretty cool. Yeah, what was I making? I was making some fucking nail clippers, and now I'm working on the bevels. I'm working on some bevels here. See, I'm trying to make this go from a sharp bevel to a soft bevel here. And somebody asked me, why did I change my name from Arijan, which is my legal name. My mom gave me that name at birth. Why did I go from that to A-R-Y-A-N? And the answer is because my name is A-R-I-J-A-N, and if you ask an American person to pronounce my name, they call me Arajan. If you ask an Indian person to pronounce my name, they say Arajan, which sounds fucking horrible. My name is Aryan. That's how it's pronounced. Aryan, Aryan. So when you say Arajan, it makes me feel makes me feel terrible on the inside. And on top of that, when you put A-R-Y-A-N, which is pronounced Aryan, so that's better. Then people think I'm a fucking Nazi. Which means they get mad at me, which means they write about me on Reddit. Which is free publicity for me, right? So that's great. I think it's pretty obvious that I do not belong to the Aryan race. The blonde with blue eyes. I'm not blonde, I don't got blue eyes, and I don't look very white at all. Hey, Artaken, I remember you from my comments the other day. I'm not sure which video it was, but much love from Iran. You told me something about my name, and Iranian means something. I can't remember what you said, but I remember your comment, and I appreciated that a lot. Holy shit. Every controversial thing you do gets you fame. Okay. Whoa! Guys, what happened? Can you still see me? Guys, I'll tell you what happens when you go public with controversial takes and controversial opinions. And let me tell you something, guys. I used to live in Denmark. And you guys see the kind of things I say on this camera right here. I used to live in Denmark. Can you imagine that? I live in Balkan. Listen, guys. Everybody in my country likes Hitler. Everybody in my country dislikes Israel. Everybody in my country thinks 9/11 was an inside job. Everybody in my country uses the hard R word. Everybody in my country makes fun of homosexuals. That's the way it is where I'm from. Okay, and I'm from Croatia. In Serbia, they're even more wild. But in this part of the world, this is just how it goes. Alright? People pretend like they don't, but in their friend groups, the boys, everybody says this shit. Everybody knows. Everybody says some dirty fucking shit around here. But I used to live in Denmark. Oh, we got an Albanian brother. Look at that. I used to live in Denmark. Can you imagine Aryan in Denmark? In Denmark, I've never met a gay person before I went to Denmark. And in Denmark, you're not allowed to say that maybe the reason that the war in Ukraine started is not because Putin is a fucking madman or maniac. Maybe he actually has some understandable reasons to do so. Okay? If you say this, people don't want to be your friend anymore, right? If you say anything, even remotely suggesting that you don't fully and wholeheartedly support LGBT to the absolute extreme, people don't really want to hang out with you. You're not supposed to talk about these things. All right? So imagine Aryan operating in Denmark. And there was a distinct point where I started to talk about some things which you guys would consider to be controversial. And I was like, well, okay, what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen? Well, all of a sudden, well, and by the way, this was at a time when I already got a couple of girlfriends. I already got a couple of good friends. I don't need no more. I got a job. I got my shit going. I don't care. What are you gonna do? Beat me up? Everybody in Denmark, students, most of them, they're not like us Balkan people. And Balkan men, they have this kind of they want to be men. right? They want to be physically strong, they want to look tough, they want to look like somebody who cannot be fucked with. They want to be somebody who cannot be fucked with a lot of times, right? Big, scary, tough guys generally around here compared to Denmark, for example. So I'm from Croatia, what's anybody gonna do to me, right? If I say something about Hitler, about fucking whatever, Putin, what are they gonna do to me? Let's see, I still got my girls who love me, what's the worst that can happen? And basically what happens is that everybody starts removing you on Instagram. That's their way of declaring that they're no longer friends with you. That's their protest. And they start gossiping about you and shit like that. You don't get invited to some corny ass parties with the little you don't get invited to some places as much anymore. But no one's gonna say anything to you. In your face, people are still gonna act like you're cool. But behind your back, they're gonna say all kinds of shit. And at this point, you realize who your friends are, the ones who don't care, they just talk to you about it because they think it's interesting that you say this. And the ones who don't want to talk to you anymore, who gives a fuck? What are they gonna do, right? They're gonna talk about you, well, at least now I'm popular, so somebody else is gonna hear them talking about me, so now I'm the cool kid, everybody talks about it, right? What's gonna happen? What, are you gonna beat me up? Come beat me up, I can't wait. So that's my experience so far. Then I get a little bit of Reddit, then I get a little bit of a shadow ban. One day, if I had 1 million subscribers, now that would probably be a different story, right? I think it's an interesting experiment now. I'm trying to figure out what I can, because look guys, my videos don't really get a whole lot of views, do they? Do they? Look, I don't know what's normal, but I'm probably shadow banned. YouTube already knows that there's this guy talking about some crazy shit. Imagine getting beaten up by femboys. Listen, I bet you I can take 2-3 of them, because all it takes is, see, these femboys, they don't have the fighting spirit in them. Now, there's one type which is easily intimidated, and then there's another type which refuses to be intimidated. That's the type that gets knocked the fuck out. I'm not a violent guy. I don't like to engage in violence with people, because I know that how out of control it can be. But it's amazing to me how somebody can be disrespectful to you on the street. And how do you know? I had this bartender in Budapest at a club toss a fucking straw at me the other day for no reason. I didn't do nothing to her. I was just chilling there by the bar waiting on my girl. She was ordering a drink, and this dude just tosses the fucking straw at me, right? And he starts cussing at me from behind the bar. He's a bartender. I'm like, what the fuck? What's your problem, right? And he's just running his, I can't hear him, but his music playing. And I think to myself, this poor bastard. It's not like he's some big bad dude, right? He's got a little ponytail, looks like a fat faggot. And I think to myself, this poor guy, he's a grown man. How does he know that I'm not about to jump over that bar, take my clothes off, stab him with a fork 67 times, and fuck him in the butt right in front of all his co-workers, and then do 20 years in Hungarian prison? How does he know that I'm not about to do that? He doesn't know that. So he's taking the biggest risk of his life because he got upset by something? Are you serious? What kind of, is that's an adult who has the right to vote? Are you fucking kidding me? Of course, I'm not the kind of guy who would engage in this kind of violence, but you gotta be stupid to be so sure that I'm not gonna do it that you're willing to throw a straw at me. Don't fuck with people, guys, because someone's gonna stab you sooner or later. You're gonna learn that shit the hard way. Don't fuck with people. Be respectful to everybody, even if you don't like them. Be nice to people. Be polite to people, even if they're not polite to you. Just be polite. Don't run an attitude in public. Someone's gonna check your ass. Someone's gonna beat the fuck out of you. You're gonna get a reality check. Trust me on that. And we're doing 3D modeling, huh? Talking about everything but 3D modeling. The name of the song is Into the Spell by 1000 Mods. Show you some of my music. Hold on. Green Machine by Caius is great. This is one of my favorite rock songs, guys. Check this out. This is fucking brutal. It's fucking brutal. It's called Attack of the Altaika by Elephant Tree, which is a great band. I want to extend this a little bit further. I want to make the transition here a little bit longer. At what point would you have fought him? At a point where okay, so I'm the kind of guy, I don't feel disrespected by somebody who I don't respect. Well, that's a bit of a stretch. If he would have spit on me, I would have to do something. I think now thinking about it, let's say if he would have spit on me, I'd probably just jump behind the bar. Just to see how him shit himself. I wouldn't put my hands on him unless he would put his hands on me or something like that, or my girl. I don't think I would do that. But if he would spit on me, that's like I gotta do something. Otherwise, I'm a punk, right? So let's say if he would spit on me, I would probably hop behind the bar and just say fuck it. Okay, I'll get kicked out of the bar and whatever. But it would be fun. See him shit his fucking pants. I'd probably take my shirt off or something just to make him think that I'm fucking crazy and on drugs, maybe to teach him a lesson, because he would realize, you don't know, what if I'm all methed up, I'm all fucked up, I'm about to toss your ass into that oven in the corner. How do you know I'm not? But chucking a straw at me and saying something, I don't have time to put up with that shit. I don't think it's like, I didn't feel that disrespected by what he did to where I would have to react in a violent way. But if he would have touched my girl, for example, then I have to fight. If somebody touches your girl, you have to fight. You have no choice. Tell good and bad things about Denmark. Yeah, it's fucking nuts, isn't it? Tell the good and bad things about Denmark. Okay. I moved to Denmark when I was 20 years old in 2020, so I'm 25 right now. Shit, I'm getting old, man. This was a long time ago. I moved to Denmark in 2020 because I wanted to go to university there. And I'm somebody who spent my entire life living in different countries around Europe because of my dad's job, right? My dad had a job which required him to move through different countries a couple of years at a time. And as a result, when I was a teenager, I'd have to go with him, of course. So I would always be in different countries, around different people. So it was normal to me to be in a sort of international environment, right? Have you seen Pedro Pascal scenes? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Pedro Pascal, that's the guy who played, he played wasn't he in Narcos? Damn right no, he was in The Last of Us. Hold on. Javier Pena. Was it not Pedro Pascal? Yeah, it was him. Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about though. Guys, what the fuck was I talking about? Denmark. And what if the guy is 2 times bigger than you? Okay, I gotta talk about Denmark and street fights or bar fights or whatever. Yeah, so I was moving around a lot as a kid, and then going to Denmark to study abroad, for me it was only a natural thing to do. I feel more at home abroad than I do at home, if you know what I mean. Hey, this is not gonna work. It's gotta be a flat surface if we're gonna do this. we can't have a triangle here. What if we just push it back? Fuck it. I don't care about a triangle. Just as long as it doesn't give me artifact. And I came to Denmark, and I was 20 years old, mind you, at the time. So I had quite a different worldview at the time. I wasn't somebody who believes in God, for example. I remember arriving to that country, and my first impression was that it was a country which is basically 100 years ahead of the country where I'm from. In terms of the bureaucracy and how it works when you're trying to register yourself as a resident there. Everything's online. When you go to open up a bank account in Danske Bank, the Danish bank, there's no physical location that you go to. You can't, even if you wanted to. Maybe now they change it, but it's all online. You just fill out a form, you get your card in the mail, and you're good. You got your fucking application on your phone, and that's it. Then they got some next level metros which drive themselves. Then you got all this progressive mentality. Everybody's gay there. A lot of electric cars all over the place. Infrastructure for electric cars is quite advanced. The garbage has to be separated, and everybody takes that seriously. The type of shit that over here nobody gives a fuck about. It is a very... I'll tell you something that I really like about the Danes, and I always say this, they're super polite people. They're super respectful people. If you talk to anybody, even if they don't like you, they're super polite. Everybody speaks really good English. Everybody's super polite, super kind, super friendly. Which is really cool. But then... You know what happened to me? You know what drove me out of Denmark? To be frank with you guys, I left Denmark. It was 2023 or what the fuck? When was it? It feels like it was 10 years ago. It wasn't even that long ago. I had a great job there as a student job. And then the war, or the special military operation, should I say, in Ukraine took off. Which led to an energy crisis. Why? Because sanctions, because all of a sudden Russia's our enemy, we can't buy gas from them. It made the energy prices go up, which of course leads to inflation. And all of a sudden your milk doesn't cost 10 crowns anymore, now it costs 14, 15 crowns. All of a sudden your rent's going up every month. All of a sudden your wages are coming in late because the costs of the company are getting super high. We need another one going this way, don't we? And we fucked up. What am I doing, guys? I'm talking to you over here instead of concentrating. See, this is where my loops become a problem, because if I do a loop cut here, it's gonna get all fucked up. And then eventually, slowly but surely, the company went bust because they were scumbags. They weren't paying people on time. They were just robbing everybody. They weren't paying their partners. They didn't give a shit. They were just letting us. They didn't even pay us the last month before they went bankrupt. They just fired us all on short notice. So now I lost my job because the company collapsed because of the energy crisis, because they couldn't afford to keep running. I lost my job, it was inflation. I said, fuck it, why am I gonna be living in this expensive ass country where I can't even say the word faggot? I can't use the N word. I can't talk to people about politics because they're gonna get mad at me. If you tell them the truth, or what I think is my opinion, if I tell them my opinion, they're gonna get mad at me. What the fuck am I doing here? How about I go to a better country like Hungary, for example, which is more aligned with my worldview, and where I feel a little bit more at home. I don't think you asked me a specific question, but I hope I gave you a little bit of insight into my experience with Denmark. I still go there all the time, though. It's a very fun city, Copenhagen. It's a very cool place with some beautiful features in it. It's got a great vibe overall. It's just not really somewhere where I want to live right now. I might go back. Maybe one day you guys will see me live in Copenhagen again for some time, but I can't see myself building a future there. Okay, so we have to have a loop like this. Hey, that's pretty good actually. Check this out. This is gonna be a little bit fucked up, but it doesn't matter. I think I can get away with it. Shadow demo animation. There we go, and thank you again, Mr. Timeless Visuals, for your super chat. Shadow demo animation for a general idea of animation. Let's check it out. Damn, did you make that? Look. That's fucking crazy. Look at that. But you know what? Let me make a comment about it. The model is incredible and it seems to be rigged really nicely too. It kind of feels like his center of mass. It's like, it looks like he should collapse backwards if the physics were realistic. So it feels like he should be leaned forwards a little bit more in some way, if you know what I mean. Look, I mean, it could just be the orthographic projection. But his body should be moving a little bit. But okay, I will assume that. Well, you did say that it's a general idea, so it's a work in progress, meaning that you're still working on it. So yeah, it's just my input. I think I should have seen this one first, right? Look at that. That's fucking nuts. Are those bombs that he just dropped? What are those? No, it's something detached and came back. It feels like you're there with him. Yeah, I want to see this mech in the final render. Or in this scene here, anyway. That's crazy shit. King of the Streets. Yeah, guys, we're talking about street fighting. Somebody mentioned King of the Streets. I know that organization. I think they are Polish, aren't they? They got great fights. But they're brutal. They got no rules. I see these guys kick each other with their shoes, stomping each other, the type of shit that you don't see in UFC. UFC, it makes UFC look like child play. King of the Streets. We were talking about street fighting and somebody said, what if the guy's twice your size? Okay, so listen. The question is, I don't know if this was the question, but I will extend that comment and make a question out of it just so we have something to talk about, right? Let's say somebody punks you. Somebody tries to punk you. Let's say you're out with your girl at a bar. There's a dude twice your size, which is hard for me because I'm already like 90 kilo. Twice my size would be 180 kilo man, which is very, very unlikely. So if you're 60 kilos, don't be 60 kilos, be 80 kilos, because then it's very unlikely that someone's going to be twice your size. If you're 60 kilos, 120 is not unlikely at all. So first of all, make sure that you're nice and big and strong and you can handle yourself. You got some hands. So that the idea of a bigger man doesn't scare you as much as it would if you're a very small man. Second of all, you have to be able to fight. You have to know a little bit of boxing or something, because that way men immediately automatically become less intimidating to you. When I didn't know how to fight, the idea of a fully grown, scary looking man was intimidating to me. Now that I did learn how to fight, it's not scary to me anymore, because I know from my fighting training that even though he looks scary and mean and big, and he's bigger than me, maybe he doesn't know how to fight. Even if he does know how to fight, maybe I just get lucky and I just knock him the fuck out in one punch. So it stops being as much of a factor as it was before. Even if you're a skinny guy, if you know how to fight, You go up against a bigger dude, you can knock him the fuck out clean. He's not even gonna, no one happened to him. So that's one thing. You gotta be a little bit physically challenging, right? You can't be a little pussy. You gotta hit the gym, you gotta know how to fight. Otherwise, I can't give you other advice in life. That's the first thing you gotta get under control if you're trying to be a grown man, right? I don't know what else I would tell you before I would tell you that. But assuming you got that under control, okay, a guy twice your size punks you, and you look at him, yeah, this guy can probably kick my ass. Well, let's say I'm at the bar, and then Mike Tyson slaps my girl's ass, or something. I gotta say something, right? What am I gonna say? Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta say something. I know he can knock me the fuck out in 2 seconds. There's nothing I can do up against him, but I gotta say something. If that means I'm gonna get knocked the fuck out and lose 2, 3 of my fucking teeth, so be it. At least I said something, and I didn't bitch out. Sometimes that's the price you gotta pay if you want to be a man, right? Because otherwise, what's gonna happen? If the guy slaps your girl's ass, you look at your feet and you apologize to him. You think your girl's gonna go home and fuck you after that? No, she isn't. She's probably gonna think about that dude. She's gonna want him now. He made you his bitch. You can't have that. It's better to die than to have that in your resume. But I will say this though. In my experience, and they told me when I was a kid, hey, if you try to act like a tough guy, they're gonna test you. And that is true, but I will tell you this. When I was a little skinny fucking faggot, a gamer nerd who was afraid of his own shadow when I was like 15 years old, you get punked all the time. You get tested all, because guys know that they can get away with it. I look at you and I see that you're not gonna do nothing about it. I can fuck with you. You can be like the joke material, the clown material. I can make fun of you in front of my girl, so I can make her laugh, and she can see how this guy's a pussy while my man is the man. Guys do this, whether you like it or not. That's how it goes. And when you make yourself a little bit more presentable, when you look a little bit more like a man, right? When you have a couple more kilos on you, you start to carry yourself differently. You start to walk around not like you're scared of it. You know how when a gamer walks by, they have that stupid look on their face. So they always have like this sorry ass smile. There's like this sorry apologetic look on their face. Like they want to portray to the world that they're not a threat. They also probably walk a little bit slouched. They look around kind of like when you see a cat in public or something. It's like they're always scared about reacting to everything. They look nervous. They look like they're threatened. When you take care of yourself a little bit better physically, you don't feel that way anymore. You can sit down in a bar and it's like you sit there with a girl, with your beer, and you sit there and you think to yourself, you know what? I wish somebody would start on me. You kind of want it because why? Because if somebody would start on me, I know that most likely he's not as trained in boxing as I am, so I can probably beat the shit out of him, which means I get a chance in front of my girl to look like a man. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of her tonight, and it's gonna be a scene, and I'm gonna have a story tonight. You kind of want that shit to happen, right? However, if you cross the line, where you're walking around like a scumbag, where you're looking for trouble, well, guess what? Someone's gonna accept the challenge, and someone's gonna beat the fuck out of you. Everybody's gonna be fine with it. What are you gonna do then? So there's a fine line, and you have to stand exactly on that line. And you're not gonna get into any trouble, and no one's gonna fuck with you. If a guy who is twice your size decides to fuck with you, well, then you're gonna get knocked the fuck out. If you're half a man, or maybe you just get lucky and you just knock him the fuck out right off the bat, and you're good. Now you got a story. I knocked out a dude who's twice my size. It's great. But if you are worried that he's gonna kill you, then don't put yourself into situations where people like this hang out. Don't go to nightclubs, don't go drinking, don't go to places where people do drugs, don't go to places where mafia people hang out. Stay away from these kind of places. Stay in school, stay at the library. Don't go to places where there's a lot of people from the third world. They like to look for trouble. Don't go to places where there's gypsies, they like to look for trouble. Go to somewhere like Slovenia, go to somewhere like the Czech Republic or Slovakia. I don't like this song. No Dog is the name of the song. I don't like it. Hey guys, listen, those of you who know, if you know, you know. This here is one of the greatest bands of our time.
You've got to tune to KEXP, listener-powered radio at 90.3 FM in Seattle, streaming at KEXP. One of our we saw the usual new songs.
If you know, you know, guys. I'm also a gamer too, man. It says Timeless Values with another super chat, and thank you for that. I am a gamer too, but I also have 4 years experience in martial arts, and 2 months from now I have my powerlifting competition. I go with you. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Because if you have experience in martial arts and if you can pick up some weights, you know that you cannot be punked the same way that somebody who can't fight or who has no physical power at all can be punked. What if your woman gets into a fight with another woman? Well, I don't hang around with the kind of women who are aggressive, so I only hang around with white girls, and white girls are not aggressive, they're very feminine. But if she gets into a fight, meaning what if another bitch, because my girl would never attack anybody, that would be ridiculous, but if another girl attacked her, guess what? I would knock that bitch the fuck out, and I would just walk away. And I would sleep like a baby that night. That's my job. Doesn't matter who it is. So, she would not get into a fight, but it would be kind of fun to see her get into a cat fight with another woman. Maybe I would just let it play out, because my girl's fit, of course. She got some physical capacity to fight. Maybe I would let it play out for a couple of seconds, and I would just pick up the other girl by her neck and just lift her up. A 60-kilo woman, I can easily lift that over my head. Just pick her up, walk a couple of steps, and just lay her down. Just place her down and just, okay, stay there, bitch, don't make another step. And if she makes a step, you know what's gonna happen? Smack her like fucking power slap. Knock her the fuck out. That's why I keep chalk in my pocket so I can put it on my palm before I smack that bitch on the street. Okay, I'm spinning around this bottle but not doing anything. Guys, how long has it been? It's been hour 3 already. Yeah, it's been 3 hours. That's all you get for today. We talked about beating bitches. We talked about the Jews. We talked about 9/11. We talked about stabbing people with a fork and with a Swiss knife. Hey guys, you don't get this type of shit anywhere else. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you join the Discord. And if you want to support the channel and if you want to learn more about Blender, then check out my Blender ebook. Link for that is in the description. We're gonna do another live stream. I don't know when. I'll announce it on Discord anyway. I always announce the live stream, so make sure you join that and make sure you got your notifications on so you can see it. And I'm gonna go hit some fucking weights. How often do you stream? I don't know. I don't have a schedule, but that's it. Discord link is invalid. Guys, is the Discord link working for? Is it busted? It works for me. It's the link I get when I go invite people, generate link. It fucking works. Anyway, nothing I can do about that. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope you had a good time. I sure had a great time. And I'll see you guys in the next one.